The field of psychiatry and psychology has been something I had always been interested in. With the help of the two psychiatrists I interviewed, Dr. Mohammed and Dr. Sadana, I was able to learn more about that rigorous field I've always wanted to go into. Hello, fellow peers. My name is Alvin, and today I'll show you a day in the life of a psychiatrist. First of all, what is psychiatry? Psychiatry lies in the lines of the medical field. It deals with the disease of the mind. The role of psychiatry is to evaluate these psychological disorders or mental illnesses and help the patients understand their problems and give them ways to cope and treat them. Some of these treatments include psychological, biological, and social activities. These activities include one-on-one counseling and even group counseling. Psychiatrists must be able to be comfortable working with the patients, with the team, and their family to ensure that the patient receives the help that they need. When interviewing both Dr. Mohammed and Dr. Sadana, I'd ask them, when counseling with patients, what is the most important trait to have? I have learned that psychiatrists must be both compassionate and patient in their sessions with their clients. They must remain neutral to ensure that patients will remain comfortable speaking while also showing compassion to make sure the patients understand that they're here to help. In some sessions, counseling may be extremely difficult and lengthy. Due to this, psychiatrists must remain patient as well. They must stay calm, neutral, and compassionate to ensure that everything can be worked through. Where might you find a psychiatrist? Well, there are two different places where a psychiatrist may work. They can either work in an inpatient setting or an outpatient setting. Inpatient psychiatrists are facilitated in medical buildings like general hospitals or specialized psychiatric hospitals. They are involved in providing consultation to other medical or surgical units, and as well as providing information on the patient's mental well-being. Psychiatrists that work in outpatient settings may work in places like office practices and community clinics. They work alongside other professionals, and some may even manage their own practice. Compared to inpatient settings, work hours for outpatient psychiatrists is a bit more stable and flexible. Thanks to Dr. Mohammed, an inpatient resident, and Dr. Sadana, an outpatient psychiatrist, I got to find out the different hours of psychiatrists. Inpatient psychiatrists work long and intense hours compared to outpatients, and as a resident, Dr. Mohammed has to work around 50 hours a week with varying shift changes. I don't completely understand his schedule myself, but from what I know is that his shifts rotate every other week and his workload varies. But as opposed to inpatient psychiatrists, the outpatient workload is a bit more stable and flexible. Dr. Sadana works from 9 to 5, 4 days a week, and gets to choose her own schedule. The advantage of an outpatient psychiatrist is that they get to choose their own hours, but the work is not always guaranteed, because it depends on the amount of patients that they can get. According to Canada's official job banking site, the outlook for psychiatrists is 3 stars, and the demand is slowly increasing as well. Starting wages for psychiatrists is about $25.2K a year, but can reach up to $392.6K. Damn, that's high. However, the average income of all psychiatrists is around $242.1K, which is still quite high. This translates to a whopping $121 an hour. The pros and cons in becoming a psychiatrist. The pros include the high income, the high increase in the job demand over the years, and the self-employment capabilities. In essence, this means that there's a lot of opportunities once your education is completed. The cons, however, include the extensive amount of education needed, as well as the cost for it and the fact that you'll be competing with others to get into med school. I'd say that this is fair and it's a high risk, high reward kind of job. The hardest part of becoming a psychiatrist is the education requirement. Even after high school, you would need to go through another 13 years of education before you could fully work. These 13 years include post-secondary, med school, and residency. To apply for med school, the completion of the MCAT and a post-secondary English course is required. However, classes like biochemistry, biology, and physics are essential to the fact that many of these courses are inside the MCAT test. There aren't really any specific requirements for med school, but since many science classes are needed, it makes sense to get a degree under the Faculty of Science for your post-secondary career. Involvement in scientific research is also recommended to increase your chances of acceptance. The minimum score needed to apply is an average of 86% in all your classes and a minimum score of 124 on the MCAT. But the average score of accepted individuals in the MCAT is 517. Some post-secondary programs that you might take include going to UBC for their Behavioral Neuroscience under Faculty of Science. This program will include courses that are highly relevant to psychiatry as well as med school. I recommend this program because it will substantially help with your studies in psychiatry, as well as help you learn the different psychological concepts and theories that are present in this field. Another option is going to SFU for their molecular biology and biochemistry under the Faculty of Science. Similarly to the former program, it will include courses that are relevant to the MCAT and med school. This has been a day in the life of a psychiatrist, and I hope you learned about the difficult but needed field of psychiatry. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you.